Recovery on Air, the official podcast of Crossroads Addiction Rehabilitation. Candid discussion about addiction and recovery with the people who have lived it, along with input from experts on the journey from struggle to triumph. Laugh, cry, and be inspired. And now, your host for Recovery on Air, Christin Day.
Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Recovery on Air, where we talk about the good, the bad, the miracles. Today's guest, Lindy, what's up, girl?
What up, baby
so excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
Yes,
Yeah.
when I met you, it was just like total...
Automatic click.
Absolutely. I was like, I need more of this woman in my life. So thank you so much for coming on
Thanks for inviting me.
telling leadership that you weren't going to the meeting today. So
Yeah,
that
I was
you
like, hey, by the way.
It was funny because Wade was on TikTok Live last night, and I was like, I have Lindy coming on. He said, I know. She told me. I'm like, yes. So let's just get into it, girl.
Yeah.
What was life like? Like what?
I mean, what was it like? I mean, the crazy part I think was for me is that it was a kind of a slow burn, if that makes sense, because both my parents are addicts. My mom's an alcoholic, my dad's a drug addict. So like it was very normal for me to always see some form of substances around the house. And that was more in the beginning. It was very slow roll for them too. So it's like as they progressed, I saw the progression from day one. Like, I mean, they had me at 20, you know what I mean? So I saw the
Babies
whole
having babies.
Babies having babies.
For sure.
Which I get because I was a baby having babies. But, you know, I was the firm believer that, hey, I'm not going to be the one who's going to do drugs. And I think a lot of people have that experience that they're not going to do it because of their parents. Right. So I think that's where I'm kind of at. I was at, and then, of course, you know, some things happened. I knew it was off to the races, though, kind of my first time using, to be honest. Like, I think a lot of people are like, oh, so, but like my first time, I'm like, I think I got drunk. I did the worm in the tequila.
Hell yeah.
I did like, you know, when you hit the bong and then do the shot and then blow out the smoke. Like that was my first time using any substance. It was all at once.
Yeah.
So that was really, really crazy. Apparently I like tried to fight somebody just because they got in my bubble, and they were like, dude, they weren't even messing with
How
you.
old were you when you first used?
I was 16. I was 16. I think I definitely like, in the sense of like really made the choice to use. Like I think there was a couple of times where I like picked up, you know, dad's beer or something like that, you know. But that was the first time like I made the active choice that I was going to use. And I in high school, had a fun weekend, and then, you know, woke up not feeling great, and I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel good. But then I was like, but also I want to do this again.
Did you graduate high school?
I did graduate high school, yes. I mean, I played sports throughout high school. It was my junior year that I started using. So a lot of my coaches were pretty upset because I was an athlete. Like every single season I had a sport to do, and I was doing sports on the off seasons.
Gotcha.
So what really actually activated my addiction was I was in martial arts my whole life.
Okay.
So I was a 2nd degree black belt in Taekwondo.
Yes, bitch.
Yes. I used to go travel to the States and compete. I was a Triple Crown state champion for the state of Arizona.
I knew you were a bad bitch the minute
It's all
I
hidden
met
under
you.
there. But I represented the state. I even taught little kids martial arts, and there was a situation that happened where I kind of lost martial arts. And when I lost it, that's when I think I jumped to the substance. Like I always kind of look at it like maybe martial arts was my first kind of addiction, to be honest with you, because it was morning all the way to night. Like I would wake up in the morning, talk about the discipline we were talking about earlier. I would go run a couple miles, go to school. And this was throughout middle school and high school. So I would go run a couple miles, go to school. Then I would, depending on what sport I was doing, I would go there. Then I would go to the martial arts studio, and I would train until 10 p.m. at night and do it all over again. So when I lost that, it was like, I need something to fill this God hole.
Void,
and it was the God hole. And that I think the sports was my initial, you know, way of feeling connected spiritually. And then losing that was like, all right, here's the substances, and this is what I'm going to do. So
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So when did substances like really become a problem?
When I was 19, really, because I always had the kind of binges. Before that, it was a binge, and then I'm not gonna be like mom and dad, and then chill out, and then just that rotation. When I was 19, I started working in the nightclubs.
Out here in Scottsdale.
Out here in Scottsdale, and I started working, and it was basically a free for all. You know what I mean? Not everybody's handing me shots,
Access
drugs.
radius type. Yeah, all those.
Yeah, all of those. Yeah, like a lot of places. And I did that rotation, and it turned into like now I'm getting paid to drink. And started going to a trap house every single day, and I would roll on ecstasy 5 days a week, and then I would have the Sunday where all my dopamine and serotonin's gone, and I'm like, I'm gonna kill myself.
I'm never gonna do this.
I'm never gonna do it again. And the next day, I'm like, ooh. Pretty little pill. So
and doing it 5 days a week, like, whew.
Oh, dude, it was
I can
rough.
only imagine.
Well, and it's funny because I'm like, why did you guys keep letting me into these places? I'm like, I did not look cute. Mind you, I was always a tomboy. Like, so I remember people used to get like mad that I was the one that got into the club with like Converse jeans and a t-shirt, and then people would be getting dress coded at the door, and I'm like, don't worry, they know me. It's fine. So I would be able to get into all those places, and that's really was the beginning of it though, and that's when it didn't feel like it wasn't rock bottom, but that's when it was like off for the races. Because like it's like it was a plate being passed around, and it's lines of different rainbows of colors, and me not caring what it is. Like I didn't care. It's like, ooh, I want blue today.
Right.
I want purple today. For sure. And that's what it was. And it really, I didn't realize it was an issue until I got pregnant with my daughter.
Okay.
I got pregnant with my daughter, and that's the only stint of sobriety I had before this. And I got pregnant with my daughter, and like coming off of it, I basically detoxed at home, and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know, I just thought I got horrifically sick. Probably was really dangerous looking back on it that I didn't go to like a medical detox. But once I had my daughter, I stayed sober throughout my pregnancy and a couple months after my pregnancy, and then this is when it was super, super like, hey, you have a problem.
Yeah.
It was 3 months after I had my daughter, and it was my first night going out, like mama's first night out with all the girls, and I went missing for 3 days.
Oh, shit.
It was a couple of Long Islands. The plan is to go home. I have someone babysitting my daughter, and I end up in another trap house with some of the people I used to hang with, just doing lines, and I'm like, dude, like I have a baby at home, and I literally didn't realize how much time had passed, and I had that like little moment of clarity, and I'm like, dude, I gotta get home.
Girl, I feel it in my because I would do the same thing. I'd be at the strip club, and they're like, "Are you coming to get your daughter?" And I'm like, "Oh, she's fine," you know. 3 days later, here I am rolling up, like, I'm here.
Yeah. And then you're like,
yeah. So I ended up giving her up for adoption because I didn't feel that it was, fair for her.
Yeah.
But it was an open adoption, and she knows that I'm her mom. Like, she's 22 now, and her adopted parents are a huge part of my recovery.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So I feel that though. Like I get, I did it.
Yeah,
and I did it,
dude. I wish I had the power that you had to kind of give my daughter away to, like, just to. And like have that type of open, because I was so like, I can manage it, that for another year after that, it just kept progressing, and I literally had a schedule for my drug use based on my daughter, like, and that's like the realisticness of it. Like it was like, hey, if I use meth at this time, so I can be up and be with her, cook her this, make her this, do this, and then at night so that I can come down. So that now that she's asleep, then I'm going to do
a little bit of heroin.
Do some heroin. And it was like, okay, I'm now just going to smoke it, and it'll be fine. And then, of course, obviously it gets out of hand. And, my first kind of wake-up call was my house got raided. My family was living with me, and we were selling drugs. And we had a lot of arsenal in our garage, and the house got raided, and my daughter got taken, and it was crazy because this officer was even trying to like kind of give me a shot. Like he sat me down. He's like, hey, if I find one more substance in this house, like
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. But he's like, if I don't, then we will work on getting you into treatment and we will figure this out, DCS case, all that fun stuff. And I was like, okay. And
How old is your daughter now?
she's 9 now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
And what's crazy is this, like, he's like, one more substance. And I'm thinking,
You're like,
he's got to
fuck,
find a rock. You know what I mean? Like, find something big,
Right.
you know? And I was sitting on my couch and there was a little roach.
Oh, and he
Fully smoked. Like, legit, it was just the
just
butt.
a little.
And I, like, saw it and I went like this to try and dump it in the couch cushion. He saw it and he said, that's your wrap. And I was like, damn.
Over some weed? That
Over
wasn't
some-
even...
I was like, dude, do you know how much drugs I have
Right.
like hidden in the backyard?
Right.
Like,
No
you're worried about
shit.
this? And you know, the crazy part about that was like, when I look back on my sobriety, I think that was my first God shot.
I feel you.
And it's like those things that feel so horrific at that point in time end up being the biggest blessings that you don't know about until you get recovery.
Yeah, I smoked meth until I was 6 months pregnant with my daughter. I got arrested for selling 2 ounces of meth to an undercover cop.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I got in jail at 6 months
Yeah.
pregnant, and I sat there for 3 months, and, you know, I'm grateful for that experience.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like I wish that was the thing that kept me sober, but like all it did was teach me how to get high and try to avoid the cops, right? And but the other thing was like I had the DCS case and I'm trying to get my daughter, and I find out I'm pregnant with my second daughter right after this.
Well, fuck.
And same thing, I used throughout my pregnancy.
Right.
And I was like, and the first time I was like, I was able to stop the first time. Like, why can't I stop this?
Stop now?
Like,
But
what's
it's progressed so much that...
there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
And I was too scared to ask for help because of the court system. And it's like they kind of tell you have resources, but it's like there's so much instilled fear behind it that it was like I didn't know
So
what to
we
do.
just started a CA. It's a subcommittee for CA, but it's for women who are pregnant or women. I'm going to give you the info
Please,
because
I would love to come
Yes.
share, do whatever.
seriously, and it just is a place for women that are either pregnant or have used while they were pregnant. And we do a virtual meeting on Mondays. We're looking to have a place where we can do it in person now too. But we've literally built this subcommittee so that women feel comfortable and they can talk about these things and not feel judged. Because, I mean, they're not going to go to North Scottsdale Fellowship and talk about, like, hey, I shot dope while I was pregnant with my kid. You know what I mean? And then these ladies are going to be like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I mean, that was
Or asking for help.
Well, asking for help, and you're right though. Like even when I first shared it at a meeting, I was like, "Hey, like I was like, some of y'all might hate me for this, but this is just the truth.
It's the truth.
And then it's like, if I keep denying the truth, I'm just gonna stay sick.
Absolutely.
And so amazing that you made that, because women do need that safe space, because that's a realisticness, and it's actually not spoken about a lot in the rooms. And I think as much as it maybe should be, because I've met women after I've shared that have come up to me and like, that's my story, but like I'm too scared to say it out loud. And I'm like, dude, you gotta own it.
Yeah.
Like it is what like that's how we recover, is by being honest.
And I'm fucking open and honest. Like, I chose men, I chose drugs over my kids, absolutely. You know, my parents raised my son, he's 25 now. My 22-year-old I gave up for adoption. And my 21-year-old, unfortunately, I lost. You know, I was 3 weeks away from my reunification date, and I got loaded, and my rights were severed, and she was adopted.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's my truth, though.
Yeah.
And we have to be open and honest about it, because there's other people that are out here and not being able to be honest.
Yeah, when it's because of the not being able to be honest with themselves, they're staying sick.
Right.
And it's like, and as much it's fear of judgment, and it's like, we get it, it's fearful. Mm-hmm. But like, there's women like us that you can go to and you'll be able to have a safe place. And having that meeting, I think, is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, because like after that, dude, I lost my second daughter because of my addiction, and then my rights got severed.
Damn.
Yeah, I was 5 months sober, and I got a call from the court saying, you got sober too late. We have severed your rights. And I'm like, all right, like this is what it is.
So where is your 9-year-old?
My 9-year-old, so they're both with, thankfully, by the grace of God, They are with my ex's parents.
Okay.
Yeah, so I still have a relationship with them. I'm still mom.
Good.
You know, they're still young, but whenever the time comes, like I'm gonna have very transparent conversations with them of like, you know, this is why this happened, you know, and like I was sick and this is what it is, but I'm like, I want you to know I always loved you. This had nothing to do with love, you know.
Right.
If it had everything to do with love, a lot of more people would be sober.
And there's going to come that time, I'll tell you what, my 21-year-old, like, she got the wrath of everything. You know, her brother and her sister were kind of guarded from all of this stuff. So she seen everything. You know, she's seen the abuse. She's seen the drug use, all of those things. So, you know, for the last 8.5 years, she's really kept me at arm's distance.
Yeah.
And thankfully, you know, this program and these women loved me until I could love myself. And I learned patience this time. I wasn't doing it to appease DCS this time. I wasn't doing it to appease my family. I was finally doing it for myself.
And that's the thing is I will say what walked me into rehab and like getting sober was them.
Yeah.
Like they're
a great motivator.
Yeah, it's a great motivator. But I learned very, very quickly once I walked through those doors, I'm like, oh no, I gotta stay for myself.
So what was your rock bottom?
My rock bottom was, so I had my second daughter. I was not able to stop using. And
Did they take her right away from the hospital?
Yeah. I stayed sober for 5 months, white knuckling it.
Yeah.
I locked myself in my tweaker trailer in Chino Valley in the back room. I went to a couple of like outpatients, but the one thing that I learned was like writing in your notebook. So that was like my saving grace.
You're journaling.
Yeah, I was 5 months sober journaling, and dude, I relapsed, and I remember I was folding laundry, like of all things, I'm folding laundry, and I just had this moment of like, oh no, I'm not gonna stop. Like I did it again.
Yeah.
And I knew. I knew. I'm like, this is not a
weekend.
weekend little hoorah. Like this is
Going out with a bang.
Yeah. And I used for a couple months, and it's actually crazy because my DCS case aide, her name was Jenny, and I was one of her first cases. And I don't know, I got really close with her, and she saw me get sober. She saw me relapse, and I had nobody at that point in time. Right. My family was my dad was in prison. My mom was out here. Me and baby daddy were two shells of humans walking around. I had nobody that was like my own.
Right.
And she sat me down, and I don't know if, I always say it was the eye contact she made with me, and she was like the genuine, like, I want this for you. Right. And she's like, I will do anything to help you get into treatment, because this is your last ditch effort, or else you're going to lose your kids.
Right.
And yeah, I was living in Prescott. She got me a transit, like the little vans that go back and forth between Prescott and Phoenix. Yeah, she got me a transit to Phoenix at the airport. A friend of mine got me an Uber from the airport to the treatment center, and I walked through the door.
And you went to?
SRC, Scottsdale Recovery Center.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what year was that?
2019.
Wow.
Yeah, I walked in on July 3rd, 2019. Not knowing it was July 3rd.
Right.
Mind you, I'm like in my head back then, I probably been like, I can drink for one more day. July 4th is
July 4th.
But my sobriety date is July 4th of 2019. Wow. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I want to touch back real quick. So you lost the girls.
Yes.
Yeah. Rights were severed. They were adopted?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were, so at 5 months sober, I was going to court. I was doing my visitations. Luckily, SRC was amazing and like helped me be able to go see them and do what was required by the court.
Shout out Lee.
Shout out Lee. Yeah. Lee actually came and drove to Prescott for my court hearing and testified on my behalf.
Oh, that gives me goosebumps. Dude, he's seriously like one of the best humans.
It's those people. There's people that throughout your recovery that in the beginning you don't pay attention to, that it's like, dude, that person was in the right spot at the right time when I needed them. And that's crazy, because especially when you come from using, like, there is none of those people.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and I look back and
dirt
like,
bags.
Yeah, I'm like, I was one of those dirt bags.
Like, me too.
What do you mean?
Me too.
Yeah, so it's like, you look once you start recovery, you look back and I'm like, whether it's the admission coordinator, Joe B.
Yeah.
I'll call him out, Joe B.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
friends with him now and play
Hell
softball.
yeah.
He's like, I was yelling at you on the phone because you wouldn't get to Phoenix.
You're like, get the fucking...
He's like, get your ass in that transit van and get over here.
You're like, but I need 5 more minutes.
I'm like, I'm literally like tweaking, painting a wall. I'm like on the phone with him.
You know?
Like, the wall's halfway done. It's okay. I need to do the second coat.
Oh, God. Yeah. So what was treatment like? Like, after losing the girls, like...
So, I mean, I was in treatment when I still thought I was getting them back. So I graduated, I did 90 days.
Okay.
I was technically in outpatient, but I was only in OP, so I was going in for individual sessions.
Gotcha.
And it was around between 4 and 5 months sober, I got the call that my rights were severed. And I was living at a sober apartment living.
Okay.
And if it wasn't for the fellowship that I created, even in that short amount of time, I wouldn't be here. Like, my friends that I gained during that period of time, they created a schedule to babysit me so that I wouldn't relapse. I'm being so for real. Like, it was like, my friend Desmond worked with me at Subway. My friend Bree lived with me in Sal. My friend Alex was like, okay, I'll pick her up from work and take her to a meeting. Like, these people rallied around me and were like, nah, like, this isn't going to be the reason. And like, the fact that like I had that perfect relapse card kind of in my pocket, and because of the people around me, like rallying around me, I don't know if I would be here today.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And like I said, just even being able to push through and rights being severed and, you know, the girls being adopted, like, God, I fucking feel that, man. I didn't realize how similar our stories were,
I didn't
you know? So you're in sobriety, you're thriving. When do you meet your man?
I met my man I was about a year sober.
Okay.
COVID had hit, and I was part of the sober softball community, which has been a huge part of my recovery. Huge part of my recovery. And they shut down sober softball, and us degenerate kids were like, we're gonna break into softball fields.
Absolutely.
And we would all meet up and play softball. And I met Blake playing. He was the one quiet one in the corner, mind you. I'm just all over the place, being my spazzy girly self. And he was the quiet guy in the corner, and that's where I met him.
And then he's in recovery too.
He's in recovery too. He's got a month less than me. We always joke around that I 13-stepped him.
Hell yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I 13-stepped Ian too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got 8 years. So.
Yeah, he's getting, he'll have 7 years in 10 days.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so.
Hell yeah.
And I celebrated last month, so.
Yes, congratulations.
Yeah, we're getting married next year. My kids absolutely adore him.
Yeah.
My youngest.
So do you get the kids, do you get them regularly?
I get to see them.
Okay.
Yes,
good.
I get to
good,
see them. I get to spend time with them. I'll drive up back and forth from Prescott.
They'll
come down here.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll come down here.
Gotcha.
Yeah, his family, my ex's family lives out there, and mind you, me and him have a fantastic relationship.
So you
too.
co-parent?
Yeah, we co-parent.
Hell yeah.
Oh, dude, he's one of my friends. Like, me and him are
good.
That's my boy. Yeah.
And I think it's super important for you to be able to co-parent because it shows the kids. You know what I mean? Like, growing up, like, my mom and my stepmom would not fucking be in a room together. No. My stepdad and my dad, like, it's a fucking wrap, you know? So being able to, you know, see that and the kids see that is a big deal.
Because of my trauma with my stepdads, because I've had 3.
Okay.
I was very, very, like, Blake didn't meet the girls until we were together for almost 2 years.
Damn.
I was like, I'm with how much I have in my past, like, I'm not messing with that. Yeah. And also, like, respecting, you know, my kid's dad and being like, hey, like, when are you comfortable? Like, and me and him have such a good relationship that I was very, like, we're very transparent with each other. So, like, he was able to.
Is he in their lives? So
Yes, he is too.
Okay.
Yeah, his rights were severed as well, but he's a part of the life as well. So we both do our best to just show up, like, you know, as best as we can. And him and Blake have a great relationship too. So, like, they go off and if anything, it's a bullying sesh for me.
Oh,
they
it's like
to pick on me.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
stop it.
Like, I know both of y'all.
Right. No shit. I'll put you all out.
I'll put you both on blast.
Listen, you got a black belt. Fuck them up, girl.
It might have happened once or twice.
Have you ever thought of getting back into martial arts?
I have, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those things that it was kind of like, martial arts was kind of my first heartbreak. To be real with you, I was so in love with every aspect of it. Like one of my first like mental health breakdowns, I guess you can kind of say, after I lost martial arts, was I had my room, and my room was posters, literally posters of me. I was in like covers of catalogs. It was my trophies. It was everything. And when this happened, I lived on the second story, and I opened my window and I threw out everything. And it was kind of like a symbolic moment, because when I was done, it was like my walls were blank.
Right.
It was my life. So I guess I'm very cautious of it. Like, I'm like, because if I know if I do it, I'm going to get really into it. And I want to make sure that I have
obsess about it.
I'm going to obsess about it. So I'm trying to make sure that if I do it, it's going to be very balanced. But I had a moment, actually, it was not like a month ago. I went to this restaurant in Gilbert, and they had the tournaments I used to compete in was at a convention place across this thing. And I'm like, I kind of was like looking over. I was like, I just want to go look at it for a second. And I was telling Blake, and Blake's like, just go over there. And I was like, I couldn't do it. I was like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna just sneak in there and just be like, hi.
Maybe you can start doing who knows what that looks like.
The one thing I've always wanted to do, and like, I want to make sure that I get back into training before that. I used to help with a program called Fight Like a Girl.
Okay.
And it was a women's self-defense program,
Fuck yeah.
which was cool because back then it was like my first boyfriend who was
yeah.
the one I trained it with. So I would like get to throw him around.
shit out of him.
The examples, but it's teaching women.
Have you always been like an aggressive one?
Oh, always.
Yeah, me too.
That's why my parents put me in Mars. They were like, you need to get this aggression out
gotta figure
somewhere.
out a way to fucking let it out.
I used to fight with my dad all the time. Like, he'd be doing something random, and I just jump on his back and start choking him out. And he's like, dude.
Yep, I'd fight dudes too.
Yeah.
I knocked a guy out at Hurricane Bay, and they were like, Christin, and I was like, what? He like was disrespectful.
Oh yeah, he's disrespectful.
I'm like, oh my god,
anybody can get the smoke.
Right. You have to keep your hands to yourself. And I was like, my bad.
No, I will definitely. I've fought in quite a few.
Yeah.
Of men in my day, so I have experienced that for sure.
Oh my gosh. So what does life look like today?
Life today, it's, they say sometimes the longer you stay sober, it's hard to be grateful, right? And then I have these moments where it's just, I get overwhelmed with gratitude. Right. And life today is that I have a partner that I've been with for 6 years. We're getting married.
Isn't that crazy?
It's insane.
You can say that you've been with the same dick for 6 years.
Same dick for 6 years, and I'm still not sick of it.
Right. Amen, sister. Me and Ian, I just posted it yesterday. 7 years. We met at the CA convention 7 years ago yesterday. And I was like, I've been with the same dick for 7 years. I deserve an award.
Yeah, I should get like a Medal of Honor.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
especially with me. Like, hello? No. And like you said, not being sick of it.
No.
Like, not like, you gotta go next. Like,
or like the healthiness too. I'm like, wait, this is what a healthy
right.
Even though that little spicy Latina in me wants to come out every once in a while.
Right.
I'm like, hey, crazy bitch about to come out. Right. Keep running your mouth. I'm trying to contain it. This is considered healthy. I'm giving you a warning. You keep saying stuff, I'm gonna start swinging.
Dude, I was like 5 years sober, and I'm telling Ian, I was like, I will fucking shoot you. I'll shoot you in your ass. And he pulls out my gun out of the drawer and he puts it on the bed. He's like, shoot me. And I was like, I can't.
You're like, give me 5 years ago and I would.
I will. No, for sure. Like, we're still toxic in our own ways, I just learned to deal with it a little better.
Yeah.
I do therapy.
We still have the human condition.
Right.
Like, and unlearning old patterns isn't something that just even happens in 5 to 10 years. Like, for me, it's like, I even had an experience recently where when we got engaged, like, I have trauma from being engaged. I got cheated on twice engaged. So like, when we got engaged, I kind of had
You're like
a little response.
Right.
And I'm like, oh no.
What's going to happen?
I'm not a perfect healed person. Like, okay, I need to like look at this. And the cool part is being able to like look at that now and be able to process it, and I even being able to go to him in a healthy way and be like, hey, this has nothing to do with you. It might affect you. Sorry. A little bit of what it is.
Ian will be like, I know you're not talking to me. I am me. I'm not him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, no, but it's true though. Like
it is.
Yeah, it's one of the cool boundaries that he even said with me. It's like, hey, do your best to not let your past trauma affect our relationship. But when that happened, I was like, hey, it's gonna affect us a little bit. But I'm gonna go work on that real quick, and
I'll be back.
I'll give you some updates. But like, if you could just fuck off for a couple of days, and like, we'll be good.
I love it. Oh my gosh. So do you guys have kids?
No.
Okay.
No. We'll see in the future, but
Okay.
The plan is to try, so we'll see what the future holds.
Damn.
I know. I'm like, dude, I got a 9 and a 7-year-old.
Right.
Like, let's start all over again.
Right.
Yeah.
No shit. God. Oh my gosh. Do you think that being in a relationship and being in recovery and him being in recovery, it's not the easiest? Yeah, it's hard.
You know, I actually did a workshop with my buddy Adam. It was called Ever Been Fucked.
Okay.
And it was a workshop for where he was in a relationship with somebody who was normal, and me being in a relationship with somebody, or normal.
Yeah.
Me being in a relationship with somebody in recovery. And the common consensus is you're fucked either way.
Right.
Like, it's just going to look really different. The biggest thing that I know is, like, I have to be with somebody who's working on themselves. That is the biggest thing, and I think that's one thing that is a gift of being in the program is, like, I can, like, my rule, and mind you, MJ, my sponsor, old sponsor.
Fucking love
Fucking
MJ.
love MJ.
I fucking love her.
She was like,
oh, that makes so much sense.
Doesn't it?
Now.
Yeah. She was my first sponsor. Doug's my sponsor now, but
yeah.
but she was like, you're only allowed to say it once. That's her rule. Like, if you're ever trying to give feedback on something, like, his recovery is his, yours is yours, but you're allowed to say something once because it's affecting you, and it's up to them whether they do the action. And I was like, that's really hard, because my control freak was like, I got to tell him 50 times, or else it's not going to get into that thick skull. But grinding the teeth through it, and that's been the rule of thumb. And mind you, I maybe have said a couple of things, maybe 2 or 3 times, but yeah, like, if it wasn't for that, I don't know, I probably would have beaten him to a pulp.
I feel that too. It's not all fucking rainbows and unicorns, that's for sure. It's been hard.
Yeah, and they have trauma too.
Right.
Yeah, like,
for sure.
Like, his trauma, like, has affected me in sometimes ways, and I'm like, hey, you're being a hypocrite right now.
Right.
Like, your trauma's now affecting me. It's
Yeah.
okay. I'm not mad at you for it, but let's identify it so we can work on it.
So we can work on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. You know, his ex, you know, beat him up, hit him, you know. So all of those things, and oof, God, it's a lot to deal with sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, or that being cheated on, like, thank God that we have a great relationship, that I don't ever have to worry. Like, he's in Sturgis right now for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Working.
Yeah.
I don't have any worry in my mind
No
that
thoughts.
he's out there fucking bitches and making money. Like, stop it.
Yeah.
My husband loves me, and I don't have anything to ever worry about, and vice versa. Like, he has nothing to worry about here too.
Well, especially it takes a rare breed, I think, to be with women like us as well, because we are such charismatic, and, like, even sometimes men misidentify it as flirting, and I'm like, no, this is just how I am,
Right.
baby.
Right.
Like, this is what it is.
I'm not trying to fuck.
Yeah, I ain't trying to fuck. No, I got that. It's at home.
Right.
Appreciate you. Appreciate the
sure.
offer, but now.
Yeah.
But, like, it's also, like, kudos to them to also being with strong women, though, because it does take a different breed to be with a woman who's, like, because I think, at least I know now, I'm like, dude, if anything were to happen, I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
Because of the women that I have in my life.
Amen.
So I think that's another thing, is, like, it's a rare breed for a guy to be with strong women in this program as well, because it's like, dude, they got a backbone.
Yeah.
And they know what's good and they know what's bad.
Right.
And so, like, fall in line or don't.
Yeah.
Not in a mean way, but in a way that, like, I love myself enough to put myself
Right.
before
I'm not
this,
going to
'cause
go fucking relapse because we break up, and, like, you know, I'm going to be all right.
Yeah.
You know?
I put many a men before me in the past, and I refuse to do that again.
Yeah.
And I mean, the part of that is, I'm not saying that that's the reason that my kids got taken away, but it definitely didn't help the situation.
Gosh. I'm just in total awe that our stories are so similar. That's fucking wild. So what do you do for your recovery today?
Recovery today, I still, like I said, sober softball has been like a huge part of my
Got you.
recovery. We travel this year's been a little light, so I'm missing it a lot this year, but like every year we go to Utah, Colorado, and Texas, and we get to play slow
Did you
pitch.
play out in Utah with Colby and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So those tournaments, I have friends in AA and NA all across the country because of these tournaments and playing in them for the last 6 years.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Like I have friends in Seattle, Florida, and just being able to all get together, recovery talk, like sports, and just have fun. That's a big part. I'm active in my program. I have multiple sponsees. I have like my sponsees that are thriving. I have one that has like 2 babies, another one that has a baby. One's getting married, and then I have my freshies, my little newcomers that I'm working with. And then I go to at least 1 to 2 meetings per week. I have to at least do one. I've done the stint where I did like a year span where I didn't do much recovery. Ooh, she was a spicy cunt.
I was gonna say, how was it? Were you just white knuckling it?
I was white knuckling it. Yeah, and it was I wasn't happy with myself. Like it was like all the boxes were checked externally. I have the job, I have the dude, I have the house, I have the car, blah blah blah.
All that.
And I was just angry again. And that's how I know when things are bad with me. It's like it's kind of like I'm an angry crier, right? I won't cry when I'm sad, but I'll cry when I'm angry. It's like if I'm getting angry, I know it's bad. And that's where I was at. And luckily for, again, those friends in the program, a buddy of mine, he actually works at Plugged In now as a director. He got sober again. I'd helped him get into treatment. And this is when I was working in roofing. And he calls me. He's like, hey, you're going to a meeting with me. And I was like, no, I'm not. And he's like, yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are.
And I was like, damn. Okay, you have like 2 months sober. You don't know what you're talking about. He's
Don't
like,
tell me how to live my life.
Tell me what to do. And I went, and then like what happened is within that short amount of time, I built this another strong group of fellowship that like now those are my friends. And
you needed that.
I needed it, and it's like that's where I believe that my higher power places people. Like I said, places people in my life. Like in each phase, there's a person that just pops in.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Where do you usually go to meetings? East Valley is
Pigeon Coop.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll go to the Pigeon Coop. There's another meeting that I like to sneak to here in Scottsdale. It's at a church over here. I can't remember the name of it. It's on Tuesday nights, but it's an old timer meeting that kind of like is secluded. So I like it because it's like nobody knows me, and it's just like give me that.
That's
old
what I
cigarette.
need to start doing is like going somewhere where not a lot of people know me, because it's like fuck, man, like you
want to go for yourself.
I know.
Yeah,
for sure. But so how's wedding planning going?
Terribly. It's so funny. If you ask me to plan my best friend's wedding, I will get everything done to a T.
Yeah.
I will make sure it is perfection. Doing something for myself, I'm like, I don't know. I don't. It's like all of a sudden, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no clue.
Have you guys got a venue?
No, okay. So I have started. I have a venue. I got a dress. I'll show you the dress when we're done. I was going to wear a black wedding dress, but my daughter made a comment like, hey, I'm waiting to see you in your beautiful white dress. And I was like, all right, guys, no, I'm wearing a white dress.
Gotcha.
I have my bridesmaids know that they're my bridesmaids. I think we've planned more of the bachelorette than the wedding.
Fuck yeah.
Which we're going to go to Mexico, which is like, dude, that's cool stuff I get to do in sobriety is like go to Mexico.
Hell yeah.
I'm like, we were like Googling what's the best sober place to go in Mexico for a bachelorette party.
I'm telling you that we got an Airbnb. We go on a women's trip every September at the end of the month. And it's like my little lineage. And there's like 20 of us. And we just go, and there's like... Girl, I will send you this house because it is fucking dope. Got a little entry. You can walk down. We even have the people come from the beach and come up and give us massages and stuff on the patio. Like, this house will fit like 15, 20 girls.
I'm going to need that
info.
I'm gonna need that info. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. But it's, Rocky Point, right down the street. Couple hours. Drive and then, come back.
Yeah, I legit, I'm like so anxious about everything. I'm like, I gave it to my 2 best friends. I was like, hey, my matron and my maid of honor. I was like, you guys got this, right? And I'm like, because anyone knows, like any other time, I'm like, I'm just the writer. I'm like, whatever you want to do, I'm down. We can go to the worst neighborhood, and I'm like, let's
go.
Man, it's
Yeah.
fine.
No,
it's fine.
totally.
Yeah.
Totally. When did you start working for recovery? Did you always work at Plugged In, or have you worked other places?
I started working in recovery when I was 6 months sober.
Okay.
I became a live-in house manager, and it was for a cross addiction sober living. So it was actually a very cool experience because it wasn't just drug addicts. I was dealing with like sex addiction, eating disorders, and having to like hold them accountable in different ways than you would for people in AA. And that was a very cool experience. I actually got a lot out of it that I was able to activate in my own life. Like the SLAA has like the red, yellow, green light. Red, yellow, green light theory. I use that in my own day-to-day life now. And then I worked my way all the way from BHT to outpatient director at another facility. Went and worked at River Source for about a year doing admissions. And then I decided I got an opportunity to leave the industry, and I left it for 2 years, and I just came back.
And what were you doing for those 2 years?
I was working in the roofing industry.
Listen, girl, I bet you fucking killed it out there.
So my job wasn't like the normal guys. Mine was working in the office.
Okay.
But I was a recruiter for sales guys, so it's like basically talking to all my homies and being like, "Hey, you want to come
and do
you
this
want to come
shit
do
or
this
what?"
shit or what?" And there's a lot of people that it kind of felt cool because the hard part about working in recovery is you see the successes, but you also see the downfalls. And I think I'm a very empathetic person, and I think I just was tired of seeing the downfalls.
Got you.
And I needed a break.
Do you think, in the roofing industry, there's a lot of money that gets made. You know what I mean? And like, I have seen it too, where guys make so much fucking money and then it's a trigger to them and then they fall off and it's like, fuck, dude.
I've seen it happen. It's mostly like my firm opinion on it, and some people would disagree with me, is that you should wait till you're a certain amount of time sober before you jump into an industry like that. And make sure, like, one of my rules is like, I wasn't going to meetings and meeting with newcomers and was like, hey, come do roofing. Like that, I was against that. Like sometimes I'd wear my Pro West jacket to a meeting, but like for the most part, I would try not to like do that. Like I was like, hey, this is my recovery. This is separate. I've seen where it kind of blended, and I didn't like that at all. But also like there's people that had a long time sober. Like I had a buddy who worked in recovery, and he was a director at where he was at, and he's like, dude, I need something different. And I was like, he has 5 years sober. I was like, if you want to try it out, I'll ride that wave with you. You let me know what you need, because that's the fun part, is not only getting them in, but like what I can do to help them in the back end. And he's doing fantastic, and he's been able to keep that balance though, because he had enough time sober to know what that balance looks like. Sure. I think when people jump into making money too quickly, it can be a very scary place for us.
Absolutely. Slippery slope.
Slippery slope.
For sure. So, life today, man.
Yeah. Whew. It's crazy. I'm started at Plugged In. Now, mind you, I was a part of the original people that helped with Plugged In. So when Plugged In was just a sober living, Wade had a couple of houses, and then he opened up his female house, and he was like, hey, I have a feeling the female house is a little different. I'm like, it is. A female house is very different. And he asked me and Des to kind of help him with that.
Hell yeah.
So we helped, we basically helped with everything sober living wise for a little bit. Mind you, Des did way more than I did. 100%, she definitely did. And then when they started the treatment center, he wanted me to come on, but I was still in the roofing industry. So it took a little bit, but I always knew. He knew too. He was like, if I keep breaking her down, she's gonna come back. Yeah. And he was right. And like I knew it, he knew it. It was just a matter of like timing.
Right.
And timing ended up perfect. And I'm super grateful to be back into it again, because I have had a couple of stories, even being back shortly, where I'm like, yeah, now I remember why I loved it.
And you know that you're where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
What's your job title there?
Director of Professional Relationships.
Professional relationships. We got to be professional.
Yeah, I was like, you picked the wrong. When he told me that, I was like, do you know me?
I know, right? Like I am very not professional.
Well, like I told him, I was like, hey, I can be spicy.
Yes.
Like how I can be, and I was like, and you want to make this my title?
Right.
And he's like, yeah. I was like,
It's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. So what does that entail?
It's a lot of BD stuff, but there's also like an extension of that. Like I've utilized some of my old relationships, like in the roofing industry, to be able to go meet with manufacturers and things like that. To be able to also be an emotional support and be like, my thing is I don't want people to just call me to go to Plugged In. Like if I want anyone, if they to call me and be like, dude, where do I go for this unique ass situation?
Right.
Like there was a unique situation I dealt with recently where it was a buddy of somebody who lived in Indiana, and this and this, and I'm like, I was like, my head just kind of started spinning. I was like, all right, let's but like I got a thrill out of, all right, I'm going to call my contact in Indiana. They're going to call, they gave me a number, and then they gave me a number, and then they gave me a number, and then boom, that's where the person went. I'm like, I will do that all day. It's like, I don't care. Obviously, I want everybody to succeed, and sometimes when it comes to succeeding, you have to find what is best for you. And like, not every program is for the right person. Like every person has unique things. Like if I have somebody who has significant trauma, like there's facilities in Ohio that are female trauma based, and it's like there's like maybe there's a place here, maybe I just haven't met it yet, right? But I'm like,
we're gonna find it, and
we're gonna find it. We're gonna find what is right for you, and what is specifically what you need. Now, mind you, I can only assess that so much. I'll leave a lot of that to the professionals, but I'm at least gonna do my best based off of the knowledge that I have.
Right. That's and I get it, because like even working in the access industry that we do, Crossroads is known for fucking access for Medicaid. Like that's what we accept, and there's gonna be times where we're not always the fit for you. If you've come to fucking Crossroads 6 times, like, motherfucker, you need a new experience type shit, and I've told plenty of them. They're like, God, Christin, you're so harsh. I'm like, dude's been here 6 times. Like, when's he gonna fucking get it?
Like, there's a I think sometimes when people retread at same places, there's a comfortability in it.
For sure.
And it's like that it turns into the only place they can
Ninjas
stay sober.
Is perfect.
Perfect example.
Like that right there.
Yeah. There's levels of letting them go to different places so that they can get that. Even if it's just a touch, like even just the change of visual environment can make that difference for somebody, because they need to be uncomfortable.
Right. For sure.
Although my husband did go through your program.
He did?
12 times.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. No,
and he's been sober ever since?
Yeah, and he's been sober.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
What facility did he go to last?
I have no clue. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I know he was a manager at one of them.
Hell yeah.
At one point.
I
And
love
he
it.
told me it was kind of fun. I used to just yell at the guys. I'm like, you're gonna go to prison if you don't stay
Hell
sober.
yeah. Get your shit together.
Get your shit together.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Love it, love it. Well, I just want to thank you so much for coming on and just sharing your truth. And I absolutely love you and adore you. And I'm so glad that God placed you in my life when he did. When we met at the fentanyl forum, I was like, this bitch.
Yes, I knew right away. I was like, this is gonna be my girl.
This is my girl. We're gonna fucking ride this shit. Hell
I'm actually,
yes.
and I thank you for sharing that. Sometimes it's hard to find people with similar stories, and I appreciate that a lot.
Absolutely.
Too. Yeah.
Absolutely. We in this together, girl.
Yeah.
And if you are struggling and you need help, you can always reach out to thecrossroadsinc.org. We are open Monday through Saturday. All access plans, no insurance, and commercial insurance too. So come see us, 2002 East Osborne Road, Monday through Saturday. And thank you, Lindy, again for coming on. I just love you. And with that, I'll pass. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Recovery on Air, the official podcast of Crossroads Addiction Rehabilitation, with your host, Christin Day. Join us next time as we continue our candid discussions about addiction and recovery. Listen 24/7 anytime to this or any of our shows online at starworldwidenetworks.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.